Now, 15.93 points down. That's the lowest we've seen in recent months, actually. What would you say is bringing the markets down?
Well, thank you very much, Terry. It's an honor to be here. Basically, what you've just noted there about the drop in the all-share index as well as the NSE 20 is a major concern, especially noting the bullish trend that we've been seeing in our markets, noting the kind of results that corporate actions that have been that have been coming up. And some of the concerns that we are having is some of the stocks like Kenya Airways, which was badly hit because of what is happening globally. We're also looking at KCB because of the post-rights issue concerns about how the dilution is going to affect the share price. And because of that, you're seeing a bit of a drop. Even SAFARICOM, which had been really steadily going up, when it hits what we can almost call resistance level of 5.9, we are seeing a lot of supply which is pushing the share down.
Just how much has Kenya Airways been affected? We've seen the share closing at 58 shillings. That's down 1 shilling, and it was the biggest loser of the day. How do you see the impact of the flight cancellations going forward and consequently on the share price? Well,
evidently what we've been seeing, especially even in the news, the information that is getting to us in terms of what even the CEO of Kenya Airways was mentioning is that Kenya Airways is losing to the tune of around $1 million per day. So definitely that's going to affect their bottom line. And though they are still in their first quarter of the new year, so definitely such impact may not be seen immediately, but you're seeing a lot of investors already factoring in such a factor. And because of that, the share price is definitely going to be affected.
Now, SAFARICOM is a bellwether of the NSE 20 specifically, and when you mentioned earlier, when we spoke earlier, you mentioned that supply was higher than demand, and when we saw the share price come down, we did know that definitely the NSE 20 is going to go down. What's happening to bring that particular counter down?
Well, that's interesting. It's an interesting behavior because basically SAFARICOM, their year end was March 31st, and so as now we are seeing a lot of speculative buying because of preparation for the end of year results, and there had been a lot of prospects in terms of their profitability, especially looking at what they're doing in terms of their mobile banking and M-Pesa product, and because of that you're a bit concerned. Though basically looking at how the trend of the share, the way it has been behaving, especially in the recent past, is that it has not really been able to go beyond 590. And looking at it in terms of the people who had the IPO shares, I'm sure their target exit price has always been anything that can be able to cover for their commission costs, and so because of that, that resistance level seems to be still being sustained.
Let's shift gears and look at some positive news from the regional stock exchanges. We've just heard that they have taken a renewed focus on streamlining IPOs and cross-listing across the East African region. How's the market reacting to this news, and what's a possible outcome?
Well, thank you very much for that observation. Basically, regional integration has been one of the major factors that we've been looking at in terms of strengthening our economic markets, especially in terms of the Eastern African region. And because of that, we've been looking forward to seeing these stock exchanges working in collaboration. And because of that, there's a lot of hope that we're going to see a lot of activity in terms of demand being pulled up, and especially even interest in the market across the markets.